Hello, students. I am Neeraj sir. Welcome to all of you. How are you all? I hope you all are very well at home and doing something creative and something interesting. We are going to start part 5 of acid, bases, and salts. So, this part is very important because it consists of reactivity of acids and bases, and which may come in a 10th class. And if this basic is clear, then only you are able to understand the topics of higher classes. So let us start. You should know first which metals are reacting with acid and which metal do not react with acid. So for this you can see reactivity series is there, which is also we have seen in the previous class. So in this reactivity series we can see hydrogen is in the middle, and above hydrogen there are some metals and below hydrogen there are some metals. So the metals which are below hydrogen are not reacting with the acid, and the metal which are above hydrogen are reacting with the acid. So here reactivity increases from down to bottom, means potassium is the most reactive, then sodium, then lithium, then calcium, then magnesium, etc. And here reactivity decreases, means platinum is least reactive, then gold, then silver, then mercury, then copper. So here the metals which are above hydrogen can displace the hydrogen from the acid because they are more reactive, so they can displace the hydrogen. So we have seen the displacement reaction also in the previous class. The more reactive element displaces the less reactive element in a chemical reaction is known as displacement reaction. So let us see first one, reaction of acid with metals. So metals are highly reactive with acids. Many times you have seen corrosion on iron and other articles. So what happens, atmospheric gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide and moisture reacts with iron to form ferric oxide. So here it shows that metals react with acids. Now in this slide you can see there is an experimental setup is shown. In this experimental setup we can see a test tube is there and it is closed with a rubber cork which is having a hollow gas tube. Here you can see. So what we have to do exactly, we have taken dilute hydrochloric acid and added magnesium ribbon inside that dilute hydrochloric acid. Then these are two reactants, magnesium plus dilute hydrochloric acid, which we have taken in the test tube. And then we have closed the test tube by rubber cork and attached a hollow gas tube at the top, so that whatever gas will be released can be taken out easily. Now when we do this activity you can see bubbles are coming out from the solution, that is bubbles are coming out from the acid. So these bubbles are nothing but hydrogen gas. See, HCl contains hydrogen and chlorine, so this H2, the two hydrogen ion will come out from the acid because this magnesium is displacing the hydrogen, and this H2 gas is coming out from the solution in the form of bubbles. So these bubbles are coming out in the form of gas, and then this gas will pass on to the hollow glass tube, and this will come out from the hollow glass tube at the top. So when the gas come out at the same time, we can take a candle, burning candle, or we can take a burning matchstick near that opening of the test tube, opening of the hollow glass tube. Then here you can see burning of hydrogen gas with an explosion. Explosion is seen and a pop sound is also seen. So this explosion shows that the released gas is hydrogen, because every gas is not flammable, only hydrogen gas is flammable. So if it was other gas, then it will not catch fire easily, but it is catching fire, it means that the released gas is hydrogen. So here you can see hydrogen gas is released, that's why G is written, small g is written here. And Magnesium metal has displaced the chlorine ion from the acid. So here you can see from the hydrochloric acid, hydrogen has come out in the form of gas. So what is remaining behind? Here two hydrogen ions are there, which is forming H2 gas. Now what is remaining behind? 2Cl minus ion. So 2Cl minus ions. So the 2Cl minus ion from the hydrochloric acid will combine with the magnesium to form magnesium chloride. Means metal is electropositive in nature, and which is combining with the anion. See, Mg is positive in nature because metals are generally electropositive. They lose their electrons to complete their octet. So this magnesium is reacting or combining with these two chlorines to form magnesium chloride, that is salt. It is a salt of magnesium. So this is nothing but salt, magnesium salt. So you come to conclusion that whenever a metal react with an acid, it will form its corresponding salt and it will release hydrogen gas. So here magnesium is taken, that's why magnesium chloride is formed. If you take calcium instead of magnesium, then calcium chloride will be formed, and so on. So according to the metal taken, that corresponding salt will be formed. So general reaction for acid with metal is this. You can see generally what happens. Metal react with acid to form salt plus hydrogen gas. So here also you can see the same thing. Here this reaction is not balanced because you can see here two chlorines are there. So here we should take 2. So these 2 HCl's are there. Now from this 2Cl minus, these 2Cl minus are taken over by the magnesium to form magnesium chloride, and 2 hydrogens is released in the form of hydrogen gas. So in this way, metal take away the anion, that is negative charged ion, from the acid to form its salt, and the hydrogen is released as gas. Now these are the other acid base reaction, acid and metal reaction. So here we have taken different metals to get different salts. So here you can see first one, calcium reacting with acid, that is hydrochloric acid, will give calcium chloride. So calcium chloride is nothing but CaCl twice plus hydrogen gas. So you can see hydrogen gas is common in all this. In the same way, calcium if reacted with nitric acid, it will form calcium nitrate. Calcium nitrate is CaNO3 twice. And third one, calcium reacting with sulfuric acid to give calcium sulfate. Calcium sulfate means CaSO4, which is at the bottom. You can see here, which is at the bottom. Now zinc plus hydrochloric acid, zinc chloride. Zinc is positive and chloride is negative. So zinc chloride, that is ZnCl2. You can see from the bottom. So you have to write these word equation in the form of chemical equation. You can see the first one is done for you. First one, both word equation and chemical equations are written. In this way, you have to write all these word equation to chemical equation by using the hints given at the bottom. So this is your homework. So you have to write symbols of these word equations. Now, reaction of acids with oxides of metal. So metal oxides are acidic in nature or basic in nature. So last time we have seen in the last period also, and in the last year also, that whenever metal react with oxygen, it will form metal oxide, and that metal oxide when dissolved in water, it will turn red litmus blue. Means metal oxides are bases or they are basic in nature. So this solid metal oxide when dissolved in water, it will convert to a basic solution. So this acid plus base will give salt plus water. In the same way, here you can say zinc oxide reacted with hydrochloric acid, that is 2HCl, will give ZnCl2, that is salt plus water. So this is base, this is acid, this is salt and water. So in short, general reaction for acid with metal oxide is this. Acid plus metal oxide will give salt plus water. Understood? It's very simple. Now what do you mean by alkali? alkali are the bases which are highly soluble in water. So most of the bases are not soluble in water. Only some bases are highly soluble in water that are alkali, like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. So these bases are highly soluble in water, that's why they are alkali. So all alkalis are bases because they have properties of bases, only they are soluble in water. But not all the bases are alkali because every base is not soluble in water. So here we have completed our topic acid and metal oxides. Now let us see further. Here also you can see acid and metal oxides are used by farmers. See, acid and metal oxides reacting with each other to give salt and water. It is a type of neutralization reaction. So farmers are also using this technique because farmers require neutral soil for proper growth of plants. If soil is acidic or more basic, then the plants will not grow properly. Plants can die. So therefore farmers uses lime, that is calcium oxide. Lime is nothing but calcium oxide to neutralize the acidic nature of soil. So due to acid rain, many times soil become acidic. So that acidic soil can be neutralized with the help of calcium oxide, that is lime. So lime is also a metal oxide. It is oxide of calcium. So this lime is reacting with the acidic soil to give salt and water, and that salt and water are not harmful for soil. In that condition, salt and water will be useful for plants. So here general reaction for acid and metal oxide we have seen already, salt plus water. So one more example is given at the bottom. Magnesium oxide when reacted with carbonic acid, that is H2CO3, will give magnesium carbonate plus water. So this is example of double displacement type of reaction. You can see here CO3 having minus charge, and here Mg is having plus charge, O is having minus charge, H2 is having plus charge, and CO3. So here positive ion of the metal oxide is taken by negative ion of acid. In the same way, positive ion of acid is taken by negative ion of metal oxide. So magnesium has taken the carbonate CO3 minus to form magnesium carbonate, and hydrogen, that is H2, has taken O minus to form water, that is H2O. So we get magnesium carbonate plus water, means there is an exchange reaction. So this type of reaction is known as double displacement reaction. Now reaction of non-metal oxides with base. Non-metal oxides means what? Oxides which are formed by non-metals. Non-metals example are carbon, sulfur and nitrogen, etc. So these non-metals when react with oxygen to give non-metal oxide like carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc. So these all are non-metal oxide. So these are generally acidic in nature, we have seen. So these non-metal oxides are responsible for acid rain, as we have seen in the previous videos. So these non-metal oxides react with water to give acids. So these gaseous non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. When we keep a blue litmus paper in air for a few minutes, you can see the blue litmus starts to turn red because non-metal oxides which are present in air will turn blue litmus to red because they are acidic. So here carbon dioxide is taken, which is the non-metal oxide, which react with calcium hydroxide to give calcium carbonate plus water. So this is also example of neutralization reaction. So base plus acid, this non-metal oxide is generally an acid. So non-metal oxide plus base will give salt plus water. Various non-metal oxides are reacting with bases to give salt plus water.